You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Elizabeth City Council member believes the cops there are retaliating against him for joining protests demanding the video be released in the death of Andrew Brown Jr. Councilman Gabriel Adkins spoke to his colleagues hours after Brown's death, expressing his fear as a black man and later calling for the release of the footage showing the fatal incident. Well, guess what? Adkins posted this surveillance video to his Facebook account of two instances last week where a uniformed police officer is urinating on the property of his funeral home. He believes his advocacy and organization of protest are the cause of police retaliation. Adkins says the Sheriff's Department has previously provided escorts for his funeral home, but is not responding to escort requests since his calls for action. Guess the sheriff's folks didn't realize, Omakongo, that there were cameras there. This is the kind of action we see, and the fact that they're not even responding to his funeral home, yeah, these are sheriff's deputies now being pissed off that they're being challenged by the public.
And I think you might have had that pun intended when you said pissed off. It's just shameful, not even respect for the dead. We're talking about a funeral home here. And I do fear for this councilman because we have seen across the country, we saw it with the person who filmed Eric Garner's killing. We saw it with the person who filmed the killing of Walter Scott as well, that these police will retaliate if you out them in any way, shape, or form, if you speak up. And to go and find that, and then again to deny the escorts as well, these officers do not want to do their job. And that's why we need the civil rights division, because if you can't respect the dead, if you can't respect families and say we're not going to have indictments, if you can't respect people who are city council members enough to not go and do something like that, what type of hope and respect does the average person on the streets of Elizabeth City have? Not much.
The thing here, Ben, is that these cops all across the country, they cannot stand folks demanding accountability.
That's right.
Absolutely. And the other component of this is, Roland, that too often we think of cops as being fair arbiters of justice because they put on a badge and they have on a uniform. But when in reality, underneath that badge and uniform is a person that has political ideologies and that are in some proximity to or servants of white supremacy. They are human beings who are carrying out their own personal agenda. They just so happen to have on a badge and a uniform and guns. And so in this case, we're seeing that, and not just this case, but all over the country, these officers absolutely are acting out because they have been able to go with impunity. They've been able to do these things for years without any accountability, and the nerve of black people to actually say enough is enough. And they're saying that they just can't handle it.
You know, Kelly, look, and bottom line is this here. That's what I keep telling people, the hell with them. They don't like accountability. Guess what? Stop shooting folks, stop killing folks. Ain't that hard?
I mean, you would think that it's not hard, but for an entity of people, especially in the South, whose history is rooted in Klansmanship and racism, police officers will have a difficult time not giving into their instinct of seeing black skin as a weapon and trying to either apprehend it or subdue it altogether. So the fact that we are looking at footage right now of a police officer in uniform desecrating holy ground for the most part. You know, when you go to a funeral home, any funeral home, it is sacred ground. That is a neutral territory away from chaos, away from conflict, away from drama. You are there to honor loved ones. You are there to honor those who are no longer amongst the living. And for an officer, anybody, to dishonor that shows you not just how disgusting they are, but who they really are as a person. Like, they are disgusting, not just the act. They are disgusting. And the fact that this disgusting act is stemming from this good old boys mentality of having to stick together in wrongness and shame, there's something to be said about that. There's something to be said about the fact that people are so willing to uphold racist status quo that they are willing to trespass on sacred ground and show just how pissed off they are about it, pun intended.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Racial injustice is a scourge on this nation, and the Black community has felt it for generations. We have an obligation to do something about it. Whether it's canceling student debt, increasing the minimum wage, or investing in Black-owned businesses, the Black community deserves so much better. I'm Nina Turner, and I'm running for Congress to do something about it.